Hey guys, I'm back here today with another Take 2 showcase, this time of a 7-win run with Portalcraft. So if you are bored of playing against Swordcraft every single match and you want to play something different, then I do recommend Portalcraft as an acceptable tier 1 option. So just like last time, I am going to show you guys the full draft and also a bunch of gameplay from the 7-win run, so you can understand my thought process when drafting this and also how to actually pilot the deck in-game. So here we had Orchis and Carnelia. So Carnelia is like sort of whatever, but Orchis is just insanely strong. So usually it is like a candidate to pick this class if you have either Orchis or Alouette as one of your picks. But here it was good enough to pick. So first pick, we definitely take left-hand side here. So the main reason for this is Bullet from Beyond is a very, very strong removal card. Basically, it kills anything, but also sets you up for the artifact strategy. And Puppet Lancer is one of the better 2-cost followers you can get, giving you obviously enhanced Puppet, which means that in your early game you definitely get a pretty big advantage. Now obviously the right-hand side is not bad for an artifact draft, but I just think in general left-hand side is too good here. The next up we have Lobster Puppeteer and Flight Icarus versus Achim and Regina. So I think it is technically acceptable to take either side here, but we're so early in the draft that I think we can draft a little bit towards artifact, even though we haven't hit that much of the combo pieces yet. But I think it will be acceptable to take either side here. Okay, so next up we have Artifact Recharge and Kitty Catania and Medical Great Assassin and Elise. So this one is kind of close, but I think Medical Great Assassin is just the best card by far out of these four. So I'm more than likely to pick the right-hand side here, just good at that. Elise is just a good turn 1 play as well. It also gives you artifact synergies, so that's good. This one's a bit of a harder pick, so although we picked the right-hand side earlier, I think this time we're going to take the left-hand side. And the main thing is we don't want to overcommit to the artifact strategy too much. If we do take the right-hand side here, we do have to pick way more artifacts just to justify it. The Icarus doesn't do anything if we don't have artifacts, right? Conversely, the left-hand side is good at all stages of the game, so we're more than likely to pick left-hand side here, especially given our current draft. Okay, so this one's pretty easy, I think. This is definitely right-hand side. I mean, Mechanized Beast is garbage, so we just pick 2 relatively good cards. And I think it's a snap call. You see Alouette, you take it. Right, it's broken. This one will most likely be left-hand side. I think Dirk, it doesn't really do enough. Like, it gives you an artifact, but it doesn't give you any actual synergies, right? So, left-hand side. This one could go either way, but I think I might actually re-roll this. I think Veer's not a great card. And because we're already halfway through the draft, we sort of do want to use our reroll synergy if we can. And the main thing is like doing my Resurgence, it's not good enough with our current draft. But so here we get Synchronous Hearts and Artifact Recharge, which is more than good enough to take. Synchronous Hearts is basically removal that doesn't require you to use an Evo point. And you also get stuff like left behind after. This one's just left-hand side. Again, Mechanized Beast is terrible, so... And here, Caravan Mammoth is pretty bad, so we just take the right-hand side. These 2 are just generically good Evo targets, so we just take it. And then here, right-hand side is pretty bad. It's instant pick left. And then here, so, I mean, again, Doomrat Resurgence is good when you have a huge amount of artifact synergies, but we don't have that. So instead, we're just going to pick 2 generically strong 2-drops, and then we'll go from there. Finally, we have one more redraw, right? So we just, even though this card's not bad actually, Engine Blade Maiden, but Dirk is pretty bad, and it's our last time to redraw. So we hit Alouette, and so we instant pick it. Feels extremely good. And then finally, this one's a pretty hard pick actually, so you can definitely go either way. I think overall, the right-hand side is a little bit stronger if you add both of them together, but Orchis is just like kind of insane, right? So... given that we already had 2 Alouette and only 1 Orchis, I just decided to go for the more balanced option, right? Balanced option. But it's definitely pretty close. Very, very close. But overall, I just think Orchis is just standalone too powerful of a card. So our final draft does look a little bit like this. So we've got a very good curve. You'll notice that in my mulligan, I do often kind of pick the Orchis. I keep that because I think... I definitely want that by turn 8. I don't want to waste my Super Evo points on other cards if I can help it. And if you do land an Orchis, you do generally just get 8 damage to the face. Or you get full control of the board. You force a Super Evo, so it feels very good. The other huge target is Alouette, obviously. One card I'll call out to be quite strong in this run, like especially in the latter half, is Achim, Lord of Despair. So this card is just totally insane. I didn't realize it, but it actually copies it exactly. And so that means that if you steal something with Evolve or like Super Evolve, it comes back to your field, also evolved or Super Evolved. And so you'll see this card put in a lot of work in the final 3 rounds. And so this one single-handedly probably won me a few games. So once we go through a run, you'll definitely see the power of Achim. Okay, so our first game of this run is against Abysscraft. So we're taking second, which is generally pretty good for us because we get to coin out Alouette if we draw it. So opening mulligan, I think we just want an early game curve. Artifact recharge is just generally quite good to take. Like because we're not looking to really coin on turn 2 with our draft. And so here we do have a slightly weak early game, but I think it's okay. Like pretty much any bad early game we can fix with Alouette, especially if they play no turn 2. So here we just get to set Bellringer for free. And then we do need to survive 1 turn. Like we're going to take damage most likely because we don't have a turn 3 play. But that's okay as well. So here we just play Puppet Theater. We fuse so our hand size doesn't go too high. I think here there was an argument that I should just use a Puppet to swing 1 in and then put it to 3 right away. Because we didn't really consider the fact that they could go Ward here, but it's still okay. I mean, we just do double Puppet, swing into both, and we Alouette, get a Gamma, and then Gamma we can clear the entire board. So at the end of this play, we'll have like multiple 3 health followers, and then we'll full clear the board. And we'll force them to use an Evo point 90% of the time. The only way that's not the case is if they have Aragavi, but that's legendary, right? So odds aren't that high, and we don't feel too badly even if they do have that, because we can answer it pretty easily with Puppet Lancer, and we can go pretty good on the curve. But he doesn't have a great answer here, which is very good for us. So already here, you know, he's going to have to use Evo point to clear, and then here he's going to end the turn with nothing on board. So everything is going quite well for us here. Like we don't lose the Evo point advantage. We don't need to Evo next turn. Generally, like next turn's going to be a bit slow, but that's okay. So in this situation, all we do is we just build up a board, try and force them to use an Evo point next turn. And then we feel pretty good. Like no matter how they clear this, we have a lot of removal in hand that doesn't need Evo point. And that's one of the key advantages that Portal has in this type of game format. Like the puppets really do let you control your Evo points, and ensures that nothing ever gets too out of control. And so this card is kind of insane. We burn a Super Evo here, mainly because we want 2 copies of Mecha Cavalier. And we want to put the onus on them to clear. We don't feel too bad because we use 1 Super Evo on this, so we can use this other Super Evo on Orchis. But I mean, for a lot of decks, they can't easily full clear this, so we feel fairly good here. And especially given that they have to use a Super Evo in order to do this, it feels great for us. They were just 1 shadow off from being able to play this too. And so I think on this turn, definitely there's a few options. Like I think it's not too bad to go Orchis Evo as well. But I think we were just going to wait 1 turn, see if we can maybe get them to like drop a Cerberus or something here, like on curve. Then we can answer back with Orchis potentially. But instead he does have the Vlad the Impaler, so looking at like such a big threat on the board, I think I just go for Orchis here. Given that we don't have super clean ways to answer this, like potentially, like we could have like waited 1 more turn, we could have gone like, you know, Puppet Shield plus Enhanced and then double clear this. But I figured, whatever, I mean, it's not the worst even if he does have Cerberus, which he does, but we can out this anyway, so it's not a big deal. Like, no matter what happens here, we still have 1 Evo point over them, so like I don't feel like we're in a big trouble. Now, obviously it'd be better if we force him to deal with Orchis, but I mean, it's fine. It's fine. A good top deck. It wasn't necessary per se, but it does make our play a lot easier. So in this situation, we can just Evo, get the AoE damage and everything, and then we can push double of this into his Cerb, and then we'll clear his board. And so this will be very difficult to out when he has no Evo points at all left. So we're in a great position, even though our Kim is pretty dead, but our position is not bad at all. The only issue I would say is that we don't have like a clean out to this board, but that's okay. Like when both players are out of Evos and you have the winning position, like generally speaking, you're in a great straits. So here we just clear the board as best we can. Now we push 4 damage in, just standard stuff. I think we play Achim as well, just for tempo. And then, even though we have no Evo points left, I mean, 3-3 is still a 3-3. It's not too bad. And he's probably a bit sad that he had to like burn all of his Evos early, because like this card would be such a nightmare to deal with if he had Super Evo left. This is an insanely good top deck, because now we can sub Gundam the next turn. So here, yeah, I can hit him for 4, but I decided to trade, because if he doesn't heal, he's dead, and it's not that easy to get healing while clearing the entire board. And then when I see the play he does this turn, I feel pretty good about that, because that's 2 storm damage, 3 storm damage, sorry, 2 storm damage, 2 storm damage, and then 3, so like 7 storm damage from hand, and the 4 attack. So it would have been 1 off lethal if I didn't trade there. But yeah, here I can just go for the Gundam, and then the Gundam will just end the game. So like with Artifact, like you do sometimes have this position where you can just like play a long game, and then, I mean, they take 10 damage, they're dead. So, and even if they're not dead, like it's pretty hard to clear this. So it's the first game. It was a bit of a grind, but we got there. So next up, we are against Rika. I'm pretty sure he's a pretty strong constructed player as well. And he's obviously 1,000 higher points than me in the Take-Two ladder, apparently. So we already knew that this match could be a little bit difficult. But yeah, basically, with this, I did greed a little bit for the late game, because I was hoping it would be a slower deck, but this was a very, very aggressive game from him. So obviously, when you go second, you typically don't use your coin if you have Alouette as an option. So here we're just kind of contesting the board. We're dropping, 2-2 to deal with his 2-2, etc. But this is where like he starts getting a huge like kind of tempo lead on me. So he drops like a Searing, and then here's my board, 2-2-2s, and then I completely brick on the turn 3. So this is already a pretty rough situation to be in, especially because he has this. So all of a sudden, I take 8 damage, and then his board is like this, so it feels very weak for me. And then I have a bunch of options here, so I can either make the healing or I can make the rush. I think here I just go for the rush, because like from my point of view, like it's pretty irrecoverable if I let him Evo face like 5 damage, something like that. Like it's probably better just get a guaranteed clear on the board. And then he has Goblin Foray, so he goes super wide. And then I think here's like where I get a slight reprieve, right? Because he probably doesn't expect me to have a second Alouette. So here, I do have to burn 1 artifact, unfortunately, but it's okay. We still get to make Gamma, and then we Evo Gamma out. So this is our reprieve, so he full clears board. And now it's hard for him to ignore the board. He has to clear the 4-6 and the 5-3. So we get a little bit of breathing room, which is good. But yeah, as you can see, his draft is pretty good, right? He continuously threatens our board, and then he creates Intimidate followers as well. And so when you're in this type of position where you're this far behind, you can't afford to like play greedy. You have to just literally do whatever you can, right? Basically to ensure that you don't take any more damage. So here we do this again. We're forcing him to clear the 5-3 as well. And so here he goes for another big Intimidate play. So this one's quite rough, right? 8-8. But fortunately for us, we did draft 2 copies of Bullet from Beyond. So that actually gives us a fairly large amount of options. So of course, we always clear this 8-8. Like that's a mandatory clear. And then I think here I opted to save the Super Evo, save the Bullet from Beyond, save the coin. I'm just going to clear this because we want to be able to use Orchis next turn cleanly. And if he does play something like Forte, we want to have Bullet from Beyond just in case. So again, he's just going super wide. I mean, probably not that much left until I'm dead, right? So I'm just praying that I don't have a clean out to this. And unfortunately, I do believe I have a clean out to this. Yeah, which is just a Gamma. So this is where he probably feels pretty bad. Like he's definitely going to feel like he is in some trouble now, right? And so like when you see this, like it makes sense why he played the way he did. He thought I couldn't full clear his board. But unfortunately I can, right? So if anything stuck before, like I'll be in serious danger of dying. But unfortunately I have Orchis here, so most likely it's GG. Unless he has exactly Twilight Drake, he'll probably concede slightly after this. So I don't kill him straight away, right? But he is top decking, so And it's top decking pretty well, I won't lie. But yeah, I mean, there's just no way out. Like, when you have no Super Evo against Orchis, it's rough. So up next, we do have Runecraft. So this matchup, like, you know, I kind of wanted to verse Sword because I have 2 Alouettes, but at the same time, Sword's obviously the best class, so it's fine to avoid it as long as you can. Here's a bit of a greedy mulligan, I guess, but I mean, I just like keeping my late end curve as long as I have anything I can play early game, which I do for Puppet Theater. And then, especially given in this matchup, I feel like their early game tempos are very strong, so we don't need to worry as much as we would for other decks. So here, we just get 2 puppets out. Most likely we'll play medical grade next turn, depending on what he plays. But one thing to note is that we don't really have enough artifacts to play Alouette here, so this may be a game where we don't actually coin next turn. You do need to get artifact generators to get an efficient Alouette. So with this deck, you typically don't want to evolve aggressively to face, like unless, you know, you can smell blood in the water. And unfortunately, we can't even use the Flight of Icarus properly as well, so it is like a little bit kind of hard depending on what he does. Like, we're probably not getting a great Gamma play this turn, so even looking at the situation, I wouldn't be surprised if we went for... Well, actually, this entire situation is quite weird, right? Because we don't really want to burn the Evo here, and then also, like, our hand size is sort of bricked. Like, basically burning this just so we don't overdraw. So here I just set up the Ominous Artifact Beta. I think it's quite unlikely I'm going to need Gamma. I think there's going to be one point in the game where I can evolve this and use the Rush effect, which is why I've done it like this, right? But then he keeps playing these massive followers, so I'm just not allowed to play like I think I even burned like the play point from like a previous turn, but we're okay with playing a slow game here. Like, we play a slow game, it's fine. We got Orchis, we got Alouette, we got 4 Evo points. And then here he's just burning his Evo points like turn by turn. So I think we feel quite comfortable here. Like, there's no board he can build that we're too scared of anyway. And so I think here, in order to clear his board with only 1 Evo point, we do go for the Gamma Evo here. So we drop Gamma, and then we're just going to trade into this, and use a puppet to trade into this, and then we'll use a 3 AoE to full clear. And so we're forcing him into a position slowly where he's going to be forced to use like his big kind of removal targets, or alternatively his Super Evo points. And his hand size is quite low too, only 4 cards in hand. And yeah, obviously this can draw him 3 cards, but again, Super Evo point use. We feel great about that. And especially given that this gives us a perfect opportunity to Orchis to clear. Like, otherwise, like, we might be forced to, like, use Orchis on a low efficiency trade, but given in this situation, like, we get to clear, like, a barrier ward, clear this for free, clear this 4/4, and push damage. It feels so good. Like, in most situations, there won't be, like, easy clears for this, especially given that this can redirect. But his William is huge, so he gets to save an Evo point. Nevertheless, like I said before, we're in a great spot. Like, we just have so many like artifact generators this game. Plus, we can clear his guys for relatively free. And then this Alouette Evo is going to feel great. Like, it's got Rush. It does 3 damage to face. And then also, we pretty much have the Gundam. So, like, this game feels like we will be quite difficult to lose. If he doesn't like heal or build a ward here, we can just kill him with a Gundam. So yeah, and he knows that as well. Like, he's been keeping track of like what we've created. So yep, GG. So we're on to our 4th game now, and so it's our first Swordcraft player. So I mean, one thing to note is like, you look at the RP, right? You can get matched like people 2k like points lower than you. I think in hindsight, maybe this hand was a little bit too. Maybe I shouldn't have kept this hand. I think maybe I should have only kept 1/2 drop. Like, without Alouette or like Orchis, like, we didn't have any of our late game players, so it is definitely a bit sus. And so when we don't have Alouette anywhere to be seen, this is where I typically coin out the 2 drop, with the expectation that we go like double 2 drop or something like that. But since we drew 2 1 drops, we did this instead, so we just pushed. Now this hand is really good if we draw into Alouette. Like, we definitely win the game if we draw it. Even though he gets a great tempo play here, it doesn't matter. We've got a puppet and Miriam, so we still have control over the board. But we do need to draw Alouette, or it's a little rough. So this is why I think the mulligan might have been wrong. Like, I could have obviously drawn it to Alouette, but yeah, I didn't actually draw into it for a while. So instead, the game's very rough. And so you'll notice that, like, in this situation, we have to go double puppet theater. And we just have to pray he doesn't have something like Zirconia or Luminous Mage, which of course every sword player drafts for. So we get punished really hard if he has that. But fortunately, he doesn't have it. It's a 3/3, so it's far from the worst case scenario. So here, given that we can't count on them having no like kind of play forever, we just make a Cavalier here. Make them have to like kill my stuff, and then we also get 2 puppets as well. So even if we get a slightly favorable trade-off, the puppets will finish that off later as well. Unfortunately, it has counter ball, but I mean, what can you do, right? I mean, they can't play around everything. So it's great to see the Orchis here, but we have no proactive play in our hand, so most likely we're just going to have to pass here. It is what it is. Like, sometimes you get hands like this, and you just have to do nothing. It's not the worst, right, because we have so many Evo points, but yeah, I mean, it also feels pretty bad. So here we just trade in, and we kill the pawn. But yeah, I mean, this hand can easily be fixed based on like drawing Alouette or like a second Orchis, something like that. But when they start doing stuff like this, it's going to start slipping away pretty quickly. And like given this hand, like we have no choice. We have to Orchis to full clear. But this puts us in a pretty terrible position because they still have 4 Evo points left and we've already used 2. And granted, like they were good targets to use Evo points on, but like having like missing turns where like we don't have to, like we had no neutral game state players. So unfortunately, we just give them too much. And so this is like a full clear on us, and then we don't have a clean out to this. And so the longer this game goes, it's going to get pretty rough for us with no Evo points. We do need to draw into like either more artifact generators or something else, but yeah, here I decided I wanted to just conserve my resources a bit. I think there was like a consideration to go Orchis here, but if you go Orchis here and you don't get like the win, it's totally doomed. Like for example, if he just like plays a 4 drop, oh, I can't play the 4 drop, but if he plays like another Amalia or something, it's pretty GG with this hand. And here we've just decided we're giving up on the Gundam option, but we're just going to clear save Evo point, force him to use Evo. And it's crazy that it's even using Lucrative Deal, like to give us a little bit of a way to get back, but yeah. Definitely it sucks that we used up all of our 4 drop removals here. To the point where like this guy is just so like cocky, but we can't do anything about it. We just have to trade in with this because we can't play anything from hand. And you see, like, we had 10 play points, but we just can't do anything. Like, the most rough situation. And then here, like, he's still got the super Evo point, so we have to sort of, like, answer board here in a way that Albert doesn't kill us. So Orchis is the only way. But as you can see, like, if he full clears this and, like, in a way that's difficult for us to deal with that Evo point, we're in a super rough position. And so he does have the Amalia. He's going to be able to full clear the board, super Evo this. And it's not going to be easy for us to clear this. Especially given he has 2 wards to hide it behind. I don't think we actually die on this particular turn, but like at this point we know we've been outgrinded. And so we're doing all we can just to like stay alive, but like it's just so unlikely that like this 1/6 is going to survive, right? It's so unlikely that we're going to be able to outgrind this in the long run. Especially when our draws are like this. So I think here we were forced to go for the Gamma again. But like deep down, we know that this is not going to be enough. Just unfortunately. But I mean, obviously the copium in your head is like, maybe they can't clear this without even point. But then they have another Jenna. So this game. Even though we're trying so hard, we just can't beat the grind. And then our first Alouette, like 21 cards in. So this game was just super unfortunate, I would say. And even then, I was still coping, thinking maybe if he keeps breaking like me, maybe it's winnable. But yeah, we're just dead here. So from this point on, we do have to win every single game in order to get a 7-win run. So let's see how we go. And again, 2,000 point difference. This is why, like, I think the MMR like argument for this is pretty like, you know, it's not super true. Like MMR, I think like it's only when you reach like master tier or something that's going to get quite rough. But I mean, if you're just playing casually, like most people are, you don't really have to worry about it. Yep, this game, let's see. So we just have 2 drop. We're going first. We don't have coin. So in this game, we're just going to play the curve every turn if we can. Now, we're obviously not going to waste Puppet Shield on a 1-1. So instead, we're just going to push 2 damage and clear it with a Puppet. I mean, it feels terrible to do that, right? But sometimes you just have no choice. Like, and like this turn is like a similar story. Like, we know we have to clear this. And so, like, I think it's slightly better just to have the 1-1, like, make him have to clear this somehow. Hopefully through an Evo point. And so it's great, right? He does use Evo point here. And so we feel pretty good when we Evo Alouette next turn. Like, we'll be Evo neutral, and we get to clear their board, and we force their second Evo point. So this situation feels great for us. Like, unironically, like, this is like the perfect opener, right? Like, we have hit damage on their face, we have control with Alouette, we have Orchis for the mid-late game. So yeah, it's just looking quite good for us in general. Yeah, and he has to use the Evo point here as well. So even though he does full clear, we don't care. Like, use all of your Evo points through, it's fine. And so here, I think I just opted to play for the tempo game. I feel like Miriam, I didn't want to play it there, and the main reason was like, I kind of wanted to see what I wanted to do next turn. So like this next turn, we can go Miriam, and we can Evo to get like 4 artifact pieces, plus we can bullet to clear one of his guys. So it does play out the way that I wanted it to. So now we are able to play towards a Gundam turn 10 lethal condition. So that was the main reason I wanted to sit back and like wait to see what I drew. And then on top of that, we also have Noah. So Noah means that like we can get at least 1 turn where we don't need to use an Evo point to full clear their board. So this is like this is a game plan which like, you know, you can like think about in your head and actually execute on it. And so this game I don't feel any threat. Like I'm on too much HP. I have like I have a super Evo point advantage over them. I can go for Gundam on turn 10 and it's just 1 turn away pretty much. Like yeah, but you just feel like you can't really lose from this spot. And we have excess pieces as well. Like, this is like where you feel truly comfortable. Like, yeah, it is burning a super Evo point here, but we don't need another super Evo point after this. We just need 1 Orchis. And then that Orchis is going to chunk him down, probably to like 8 damage, something like that, 7 damage. And then after that, oh, he's even used super Evo point. Great. And so yeah, here, I mean, obviously we can just go Orchis super Evo, full clear his board, force him to out our board, and then put him in range, potentially of a Gundam lethal. If not, we can just kind of keep playing. Like, we have the card advantage over him as well. So, like, overall, like, no real issues here. Like, we have so many options. Like, with him not having any super Evos left as well, we know that no matter what he does, like, it's always going to be slightly inefficient. Like, here he's basically spending all of his play points just to clear. And it does leave behind a 6-6, but we're not scared. Like, we can clear 6-6 fairly easily. Now, originally it was going to be Nor to clear this, but I think given the bullet from beyond top deck, instead we're just going to pressure him. So we just make the beta artifact. And the beta artifact, we just simple 3, and if he clears it, we draw a card. So we're prepared for a long game. But yeah, obviously with that Evo point, how long can like a player realistically stay alive? So next up on our conquest, we have a Swordcraft player. So hopefully we're able to beat this one. We're going first, so I don't mind going first because like at least like you don't really have to think as much usually. But yeah, here we just kept Alouette. So I think our main idea here is if we draw one more artifact generator, which we do, we can definitely get the Gamma on turn 5. So this feels pretty good for us. So I do just tempo out, I think 2/2. I mean, not much to say here, to be honest. Like basically, we just need to control the board early, don't take too much damage, and then Gamma him. Like that's generally the play that we're after here. So here, all we're doing is we're just clearing his board as we see it. I don't like leaving that coachwoman alive. I think, you know, it's not quite likely it's going to trade into us here, which is fine. And then all we need to do is just control the board, don't let them get a big Zirconia play on us, and everything else will be smooth. So yeah, we just kill his board with Medical Great Assassin as well. And so even if he does have Zirconia here, he needs to have a bit of insight here. So like, if he goes Zirconia and he trades with a 2/3, he's less likely to get punished by Alouette. But there's no indication I have Alouette, so a lot of people don't play around it. It's not super realistic to play around it like that, right? So here we just get to go Puppet, Alouette, full clear the board, and then from here we pretty much just win the game. Like, it's quite rough, like it's very difficult to out this. Even in Constructed, right? Like this is just literally the setup where it's hard for a player to deal with this. So yep, we're both playing Constructed decks, I guess, so have fun. And usually Sword can't clear this, like, easily. And even in this situation, like, he's just like, well, I don't want to Evo, like, a Storm into your 4/2, which makes sense. But this is where he gets hard punished. This guy is a king, the Prince of Thieves. Basically, if, like, the fact that this guy, he banishes this, and you get the 3/3 back as a Storm is insane. Like, I didn't realize how good this card was until, like, my last 3 games of this run. And, like, I'm pretty sure this is not his first, like, thievery attempt in this particular game. Oh, no. You haven't seen it. You haven't seen anything yet. I mean, this turn. Or was it? Was it this turn? Yeah, this turn. Oh, this turn. Lick my lips, bro. Super Evo, take a Super Evo. Trade 1 damage. It's a Super Evo as well. I could trade with this for another 1 damage, and then he has to deal with a 6/6, a 4/4, and a 1/3 on 7 now. It's so doomed, bro. It's so doomed. Like, how do you even play from this position, man? And, like, obviously can't go face here, so he has to trade in. So he's out of Super Evo points. He has 2 cards in hand. We've stolen all of his dudes. Like, this is literally... Oh, this is crazy, man. Like, that one card, like a Kim, has probably just single-handedly won you a game. He was not expecting the fact that I could remove his stuff and steal his guys too. And so from this point onwards, it's like, yeah, okay, sure, you can clear it, but... yeah, you're just dead. We only evoed because we knew we had guaranteed lethal with beta. And so yeah, that's the W. Achim, Lord of NT... Wait, what? Okay, so this is game 6. So we only need 2 more wins. We're going first against Abyss. Again, 3k points against 950 points, so MMR just doesn't matter, guys, unless you're like really high MMR and you're versing like other masters, whatever. But for most players, you don't need to worry about it. So here we're just going to curve out our entire hand. We don't have any out to barrel if he has it, but curving out a 2/1. So this gives us perfect out with Puppet Theater. So yeah, we have control of the game now. Like, it's quite unlikely as barrel, like if he is coining out like a 2/1. But this assumption is kind of challenged because he plays that normally after. So he must have popped it, which is quite unfortunate for him. We can't out this, so we're just going to go swing to face. And then if he goes face, it's fine, because we're still swinging back to. And so this thing we're definitely going to ignore. And we can clear it with puppet or whatever. But given the situation, like, because we have no good turn 4 play, we just bullet this, send a puppet to clear this, and then swing 2 to face on 13 with 17. And then there's not really any huge punishes from his end. I mean, he's already used a coin, so there's no turn 5 cheat out. His best play here is Yuna, so this would usually be a really good play. But he probably should have evoed this because he wasn't expecting him, Lord of Despair. So you got to be careful. Like, you got to make sure you keep an eye on your close followers, your sister, your car. I mean, Kim's going to steal everything, bro. So he obviously is not going to have an easy time clearing this. Like, there's no easy clears, man. He's definitely going to have to use an Evo point to clear this. And that's if he even has the correct Evo to clear, which he does not. And so from this point onwards, we already know that, like, this game's almost completely won. Like, taking 5 damage here and going to 8 is already GG. And setting up Ancient Cannon just means, like, there's no threat he can make that will be able to survive this. I think there was an argument to go wide instead, but I think I just wanted to make sure that I had a good opportunity to set up the Ancient Cannon ahead of time. But it could have gone either way. I mean, I think, given how bad his sound was, we could have won, like, a turn earlier. We just went, like, super wide with 2 drops. But regardless, we top Orchis, so we don't really worry about late game anymore. So here, I think we just fuse twice to Ancient Cannon to clear both, and then we'll Evo to face for 3 damage. And then from this point onwards, like, even if he heals up, he's probably still dead to Orchis. Especially if we send the Ghost to face. I mean, it's very unlikely he can survive this. And he agrees. So for our final game, we are against Swordcraft once again. So Swordcraft, I mean, you're going to expect to see a couple of these every time you play Take 2. It is just what it is. Okay, so Lovestruck Puppeteer is the only one we keep here. Obviously, this is the best 2-drop in the game against the tempo matchup. So the good thing is we're going first. We have the 1-drop and the 2-drop, and we have another 2-drop if we need to. So this already feels pretty good for us. We're going to push 1 damage for free. We even get our turn 3 play. This feels just generally very, very good. Not many clean outs to this. Like, I'm not happy to see Royal Coach win, but we can trade over, send a puppet in, and then play probably the 1-3. And then basically we just need, I think, 1 more artifact base, and we can set up Alouette. Oh wait, sorry, we already have it. When Elise dies, we have Alouette. So this is like a great opener for us. And so here, I think we just opt to clear as much as we can. I just don't want to give them an opportunity to get like a free Zirconia Evo off on us. Like, if he wants the Zirconia, he can. He just needs to make sure he pays the price. So yeah, here, like, he has to trade into one of our 2 attack guys. We trade the 1 in, and then we'll go Alouette, full clear. And then again, like, well, it's not that scary, guys, if you draft Alouette. Like, if you get 2 or more copies of Alouette, I would actually argue the Portal draft is favored. Like, just look at this situation. How do they play? Right? Like, after this happens, like, they literally can't. You have board tempo. It's like the opposite of every other matchup, right? Like, in Take 2, it's like, you know, it's similar to Constructed in a way. Like, they can't out in Constructed, they can't out in Take 2. Like, here they have to clear this again, which is super hard. Almost impossible, to be honest. So yeah, it looks like they're going to take 2 unless they have Quick Blade on. They don't. And so here we even get the option to sub by Icarus. So on turns like this, where like your hand, this is like a great neutral setup where like basically you have no board, you drop a 4-4 and a 4-6. And if you get a Flight of Icarus, you get a draw as well when it dies. And then no matter how he clears it, even if he has like a big like Gildaria play, we can just go null it full clear. So this game is already looking quite good for us. We don't need to use an Evo point on turn 7, which is good. Yeah, this is a good super Evo, because now it means that we can't easily clear this, I guess, but unfortunately for them, we are playing Portal, so Synchronous Hearts get to clear it, force them to probably use another super Evo on this. This one was a little unexpected, I won't lie, but still, we're playing Portal. Like, we can go Noah plus Puppet Theater, full clear most of this. Yeah, so this is just full clear. I was just thinking it might be good to like try and set up a Leo, but we just don't have a way of doing it, unfortunately. Instead, we just have to full clear this. He probably has to use another Super Evo here, and then like if he's on 0 Super Evos, we pretty much can't lose. Him healing for 4 is a little bit annoying, I won't lie. And like our hand is not super alive here, right? However, this is where it really comes in. This Arms Peddler is my Arms Peddler now. And so like here we even get like the 6/6 the Super Evo and trade in. And so we deny him the draw, and we get 3/2 on the field. And when it dies, we're gonna get the draw, and the bell ringer gets us draw. So like what would have been like a decent situation for him, all of a sudden is like really, really rough for him. So he's gonna burn his Albert here, playing 3 trade in. But we drew so many cards with that play as well. So on top of that, we even get to play Orchis here. So here it's not that easy for him to clear this. Not to mention, even if he does manage to clear this, we can use Bullet from Beyond, and we can clear one of his dudes. And then we'll pretty much have the Gundam set up from there. I think we just need one more artifact piece after that. And that's assuming that he can't even clear this, which is a bit doubtful. But this is, I'll just barely get him there. At the cost of his entire hand, pretty much. And so here, unfortunately, we don't actually draw into a Gundam setup, but in this situation, I'm more than comfortable to play this, burn him for 3. We think he might not be even able to clear this. And it's proven correct, with only 2 cards in hand. And that's pretty much it, guys. That was a 7-win run with Portalcraft, so you can look at the deck list once again. So yeah, I mean, 2 Orchis, 2 Alouette. Look, it's not really that uncommon, guys. Like, if you're drafting in Take-Two, obviously you get shown 2 of the cards in each class. If you see Alouette or Orchis, then I think you definitely just take Portal, right? If you have 2 and 2, like, you're probably going to win the run. So, yeah, that's pretty much how you play Portalcraft in this game mode, and we are going to open our chest. Boom. 2 card pack tickets and 1,500 rupees. Feels good, man. So guys, how did you enjoy that video? It was a 7-win run of Portalcraft, so both the draft and also the gameplay. And in addition, if you are looking for additional reference material when playing Take-Two, you can check out our website. So canvasmaster.com, we do have all of the card ratings for various classes. So if you do want a second opinion while doing a draft, you can always check that out. Otherwise, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.